Oh my goodness, can you believe it? We are at 150 episodes. Thank you so much for subscribing and following because it wouldn't have happened without you. And today's episode is going to be so much fun. I'm talking all about resetting your business and how to actually do that. Plus, I have this incredible drawing to tell you about. So let's jump in.
Welcome to the Course Creators HQ podcast, helping you navigate the latest techniques for creating and marketing online courses. And now, here is your host, Julie Hood.
So thank you for being here for this podcast. I cannot believe it that we are at 150 episodes. So exciting. And to celebrate, I am doing a drawing for the 150th episode. So I'll have the link in the show notes, or you can go to coursecreatorshq.com/drawing. Right now, just so you know, the value of the prizes for this drawing, $4,251, and I'm still getting donations coming in. So come and check back every single day, because the price and the value keeps going up and more prizes are being added. So make sure you check in every day, because that's part of how you also get more entries into the drawing. There's lots and lots of ways to do that. So like following and sharing. And so come back and check it out, because I'm still adding things. So I'm really excited to be able to celebrate with you for the 150th episode. It's so exciting. And today I thought we would sort of go back and talk about how to actually reset your online course business. I think the summertime can be a great time to do this, because you are at a place where maybe things are a little bit calmer, a little bit less stressful. So I think this can be a really good time to reevaluate and kind of look at where things are at. So I've got a bunch of questions for you. Jot these down, grab a notebook, see if any of them are relevant to you or not. Like, they may not be something that you need to be thinking about right now, but I thought I'd share mine because we just opened up a whole bunch of my time by switching off a client. So I had to sit down and think about, what is it that I want to change, and what is it that I want to keep, and what am I going to add? So this is how I went through the process, and so I thought you would really like it to use as your own sort of blueprint for how to do this. So the place to start, or one place to start, is what's working for you and what's not working. So taking a look at, what are you doing right now that's really working well? So obviously this podcast, 150 episodes, I make some incredible connections and get to connect with some students on here. Love this, going to keep doing this. One of the things that I'm not sure is working, and it's definitely not working as well as it was in the past, was Clubhouse. So I'm trying to figure out and determine over the next couple weeks what that's going to look like moving forward. So what's working, what's not working, first thing to look at. Also related to that is thinking about what it is that you're offering. So what is it that you are putting out both as sales and in lead magnets? And do you like it? Do you need to change anything? Do you need a different lead magnet? Are you getting good rates? Look at some numbers and see, like, how well are things working? Look at your sales numbers and see, where are things popping? What are people jumping on, and what are they not? Or maybe you even need to step back and say, what are some things that I could test? Some new things that I could try out just to see if they resonate with my audience, because you may need to go back and do some different tests and see what's working and what's not working. Okay, then the next thing to look at is your launch schedule and your pricing over the next few months. So in particular, I'm kind of going all the way out to pretty much the end of the year and looking at what kinds of things I'm sharing and launching. So I should even go further, but for now, that's kind of what we're looking at is the next 6.5 months or so. So here's a couple of the things that we've got on our plates. First off, we're doing this drawing. So I want to make sure I'm getting the message out about this 150th episode drawing. Secondly, we are doing the Course Creator Intensive. The 24-hour Course Creator Intensive is going to be happening in July 12th through the 15th. So if you've been trying to get that course created, really think about joining us because it's going to be a fun few days to really sit down and focus on your course. So we've got that happening in July, and I need to plan all the launch things around that over the next month. Then we're also doing this new thing called the Course Sales Launchpad. So it's 90 days to get your foundation in place at a really good price. I like how it's working, so I think I'm going to keep up with that. And then make part 2 as you graduate out of the Launchpad. Once you've got your foundation in place, we've got the Course Sales Accelerator, which I'm going to open up again in August. I'm still thinking about what the price point is going to be on that one. I'm playing with that still. So that's part of this reevaluation is looking at pricing. And then in October, we're going to be doing our 5-day challenge again for your topic and title challenge, plus doing another round of the 24-hour Course Creator Daily. So that's where you get to work with me for 5 months on your courses and getting everything going. So that's kind of the lay of the land of where I've landed. And sometimes I know those specifics about how I'm pulling things together can help you think about your launch schedule and what kinds of things that you might want to do. Obviously, very unique to your time, your schedule, and where you're at. But the more you can kind of think about it ahead of time, the better you can be prepared. And especially if you're working with partners, the more time that you can give them advance notice so they can get things on their calendar. Okay, the next thing to think about is, do you want to change anything about the way that you are selling? So is there, let's say you're not doing a challenge. Do you want to do a challenge? Let's say you don't do discovery/discussion calls with potential clients. Do you want to change that up? Do you want to try it? Try something different. Do you need to add a webinar or a masterclass? Like, figuring out what are some things that you could change around how you are selling, either as a test to see if it works, or things that you're currently doing that you're like, yeah, I need to tweak this to see if I can get better results from it. So how do you need to change the way that you are selling? And then the next thing I like to look at is, where are you getting traffic? So what are your main lead sources and your sources for lead generation? And are you going to add any new ones or change up anything? So because this is so important, when I work with my accelerator folks, we have this huge 4-page list of options that they can choose from. And I make them pick a few to focus on. So I'm doing my own process. I want to pick a few to focus on. So last year, honestly, one of the big places where I spent a lot of time was doing rooms on Clubhouse. And I'm not seeing the same attendance this year. So I'm going to pull back a little bit from the Clubhouse rooms, but I want to expand into a couple other places. One is YouTube, and that probably will look like YouTube Live. I'm looking into some ways that I can use that to get some content out on YouTube, and that's long-term content. The other thing I really want to expand, and I've done some of this in the past, but I want to have a more systematized process, is podcast guesting so that I can be guests on other people's podcasts. And then the last thing that I'm continuing because it has worked so well is participating in the giveaways. And y'all who are on my email list, you know that I'm sharing those out regularly. It's different giveaways that I'm participating in, and then I share it with my list, and it's a really kind of win-win-win for everybody involved. The people who sign up get some really great free gifts. The experts who are giving away things get new leads. So it's a great way, I think, to build an email list. So the next thing that I looked at is my team and what is it I currently have them doing. What could they be doing more of? What could they take off my plate? I'm also playing with how they could help some of my students and my clients. So lots of thoughts around this, and even ways to maybe use AI to simplify some processes, and really playing with how can I clone myself or have some more help along the way. So maybe, you could be at the place where you don't have a team member yet. So maybe you need to think about that. Or if you do have one, are they doing the best work for you? Could there be some other places where they could do more, do less? All of those questions around how is team working, and is it working well for me right now? The next topic is accounting and money, and how well are we managing cash flow and all those pieces of the puzzle. So one thing I will say that we changed this year that has been incredible is doing payroll. And because I'm an employee of our business, I would get paychecks, and for a long time I had an accountant sort of manually doing this for us, manually preparing reports and sending things out, sending me the reports that needed to be sent to the government. It was a long process. It had gotten very expensive. And I found a website that manages it all for me. It's called Sure Payroll, and it's incredible. I'm so happy with it. I'll put the link in the show notes for you in case you want to check it out. But if you are doing any kind of payroll, it's a good way to help manage all of those logistics and details. Okay, next section is what I call learning. And learning is all of the things that I'm studying, experts I'm checking out, what I'm trying to pull together to check out for you to see if it's something good that you should be thinking about and pursuing. And I have a tendency, and I've had a tendency in the past, that this can take up a lot of my time. Like, I love learning about this stuff, and I'm always obsessed with trying to find ways for it to be easier and better for you. And because of that, I have to be really, really careful to make sure that the learning does not take over. So I've started a new tracking system, and I want to make sure that I'm spending time in the right places on the right things and not too much time, because you got to make the rest of the business run too. And sort of related to that, we are adding a new division that is focused on a brand new audience, similar content and concepts, but a completely different place and different playground to be playing in. And because of that, I need to set up all new lead magnets, set up new websites. Like, it's a big process. And so I need to make sure I'm balancing the time I'm spending on learning with the time that I need to be spending on this new division. So it's just one new thing to add into the mix, because, we all have 24 hours in our day. We have to figure out, one of our biggest challenges, I think, as business owners, is figuring out the best ways to spend our time so that we are getting as much done as we possibly can. And I'm incredibly obsessed with trying to find the best ways for you to build your business, for you to get in front of your students, for you to get more revenue, find more students, find more clients for your coaching, and So trying to balance all that, I think, is one of the huge challenges. So the last mention that I want to give you is to really, really look at your routine and your time map, because I've added a new step to mine that I am loving, and that is at night I start reading about 8:30, read for an hour with my sleepy time tea, and I'm reading business books, because what I want to happen is for my subconscious to then be working on the concepts at night while I'm sleeping. So I'm really liking it, and it's been working really well. So I'm going to continue. But my thought for you is to just think about, what could you change with your regular routine, and where could you time block out certain times of your day or times of your week or even times of your month where you make sure things happen that are essential to your business. And then the last little piece of advice, this is another thing I'm trying so I can make sure that our top 4 priorities stay top of mind for me, because sometimes I'm sure you've can relate to this. We get so mired in the details of the day to day and solving today's challenges and making sure the email gets sent and the person gets contact that we lose the big picture and the big priorities. So I have 4 priorities for the next 6 months or so, and I'm making sure I'm writing them down every single day in a journal, and then at least spending some time thinking about each of the 4 every single day, so that it is staying top of mind and I'm not losing that. So lots of ideas in this episode for you to think about if you're thinking about resetting or where you're going. I hope there's 1 or 2 that you're able to grab and use. I'll put all of these questions in the show notes for you, so you can go back to episode 150 and grab them. And then also make sure you get signed up for this drawing. I just had some more folks who are donating to it. It's going to be an incredible prize package. So go to CourseCreatorsHQ.com/drawing and make sure that you get on the list and come back every day so you can get more and more entries. That's how it works, how the system works. So thank you so much for listening, following, reviewing, subscribing. I appreciate you more than you know, and do my happy dances in my office. We're celebrating those 150 episodes. So thank you. Have an incredible week and an incredible next 6 months. There's so much happening. I think we're going to have a great time together. So glad you are here. Take care and have a good one.